Hello, my name is Jupiter Hadley, and today we're doing another version of Jupi Plays All the Games, this time for the NaNoRenO 2016. The NaNoRenO was a visual novel game jam. Basically, developers were challenged to make a visual novel from start to finish. It could be any genre, any style, just had to be a visual novel. I'm playing all of the games entered for about a minute each, 10 per video. You can check out links to the individual games in the description. It'll just be a taste of the game, so you might want to check it out further. If you want to check me out, my info will also be in the description, so take a look. Thank you very much for liking and commenting. At the end, I'll probably have an article of my favorites. We're playing Iris Dream. What is my name? Jupiter. The cheering of my fans urges me on as I sing energetically. I bask in the attention, thrive under the spotlight as I continue my songs. I love singing, and one of the reasons for that is my fans. To me, each and every one of them is like a precious jewel. Right now, I'm performing live at Basilisk Town Square. This isn't an actual town square, rather it's just a large hall capable of accommodating more than 1,000 people. Right now it's packed. There's a huge turnout. Of course, I'm excited by all of the positive reception I'm getting. My heart was singing with joy when I first saw the crowd of adoring fans. Oh, it took all of my will not to jump up and down excitedly. Instead, I calmly walked on stage. My lips curled into a smile as I enthusiastically addressed the crowd, making small talk here and there before resuming singing. If I could, I would love to interact with each and every one of them. The looks of admiration and fascination on their faces is enough to make me swoon with joy. I loved all the attention they're giving me. It makes me feel so alive and elated. The live show is finally coming to an end after nearly 2 hours on stage, all the while my fans continue cheering me on. As I bow down to signify the end of my concert, I hear their loud cheering and clapping. I also hear shouts of love and joy. I did well today too. You're amazing. I love you. Please marry me. I love you guys too. Thank you. I show off my best smile, addressing the crowd playfully. These are the chants I'm used to hearing. Encore! The thing I love most? Why, of course, it's the charming chanting of the word encore. As I'm about to get off stage, the crowd cheers me on again. I have to sing 2 encores before they let me go. I'm exhausted, but happy at the same time. Everyone seemed to have such a good time too. When they have a great time, I'm at my happiest. That's pretty cool. Hey, good job today as well. I wiped the sweat off my face. While I was on stage, I couldn't care less about my sweaty face so long as I had fun. The adrenaline rush I felt up there was incredible. I didn't really care about how my face looked, though I still hope it didn't look like a crazy woman or anything. That would have been bad. Thank you, I had fun tonight. The crowd was great. Haha, you're as lively as always. I grinned, still feeling flowery and happy from the concert. I love performing live. The aftermath may be exhausting, but remembering the huge audience that came today is exhilarating to me. It gives me energy. Eric, my manager, is a middle-aged man who appears to be older than his real age. He has been great to me over the past 2 years that we've worked together. Even though he can occasionally be strict, he spoils me most of the time. I'm truly thankful that he's my manager. I've heard from my fellow friends in the industry that some of their managers are mean, slapping them if they make any mistakes. So far, my face has been safe from any slapping, so thank God for that. So would you like to go for a drive? Yeah, sure. He seems like a nice guy. He smiles as I follow him through the hallway and out to the parking lot. The night breeze hits my face. It actually feels nice outside. On stage, it can get stuffy and hot. This is truly a pleasant change of pace. Would you like to stop somewhere and grab a bite to eat? Sure, I'm famished. I could use a snack. He drives until we come to a stop outside of a fast food restaurant. This place just so happens to be one of my favorite hangout spots. I used to frequent this place with my friends while I was still in high school. It feels like so long ago now. You seem like the type of person who goes to fancy restaurants. This is a surprise. It's the middle of the month, so if you know what that means. So I laughed, nodding with understanding. When I first started out as a singer, I too had my moments. His middle of the month statement is understandable. My pockets were always begging to be filled. Don't forget your jacket and sunglasses. I nod in acknowledgement. These accessories serve as a disguise. While I love my adoring fans, I can get wild if people recognize me out in public. I'm guessing he doesn't have a lot of money, and that's why that's what he means by the middle of the month. As we enter the restaurant, I'm thankful that the crowd turns out to be sparse, though there are a few people eating and milling about. Nonetheless, this place is humming with activity. It's been quite a while since I've been here, so this is nostalgic. After we order our food and drinks, we sit at a table. When it gets here, we begin enjoying our food. I munch on my favorite burger. It still tastes as delicious as I remember it. I miss this kind of food. Eric and I share a meaningless conversation, with me laughing every time he cracks a stupid joke. A sudden pat on my back startles me so much that my burger flies out of my hands. That almost gave me a heart attack. My heart still racing beneath my chest, I look around to the person who patted my back. I must have been mistaken. Sorry, I thought you were someone else. Eric looks cautiously at first, but his face suddenly lights up with recognition afterwards. I've seen you before. You must be Sieg from the band Monochrome Minstrel. It's a pleasure to meet you. He stands up and politely extends his hand forward. This Sig guy shakes Eric's hand, a bit with indifference. I take the opportunity to examine Sig. His face is ruggedly handsome, but there seems to be an invisible wall surrounding him. I sit there wordlessly, watching their exchange. I'm Eric, and this is Jupiter, my client. Hi, nice to meet you. I beam at him, and he throws me a weary smile in response. Well, I always thought my smile was charming, but apparently this guy disagrees with me. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to. Suave, he makes a dramatic entrance and then retreats almost immediately. Fancy meeting him here. That guy doesn't talk much. Nobody knows what goes on in his head. I shrug and resume eating the burger that had plunged down on my plate a minute ago. I'd never met him before, yet he somehow gives off an unfriendly aura. I wonder what his deal is. I like these little, transitions. They look really quite cool, and they're just something that's different. This is like a story about you. You're a semi-famous singer, and looks like you might have a thing for your manager. Who knows? Next. We're playing the game Wander No More. Wander No More takes place on an alternate Earth, though obviously based off of feudal Japan. The towns described in Wander No More are completely fictional, as are the characters, events, and so on. Any similarities is coincidental. There's no references to anything. It's an indie game, and you should enjoy it. Awesome. Got it. Disclaimer. When I was a boy, joining the Kodokushi was my dream. I'm sorry when I butcher these birds. Every day I heard tales of their exploits, whether they were protecting our land, driving away enemy forces, or taking the fight directly to them. They were hailed as an elite military force, devoted to protecting and expanding my kingdom's reach, and always serving the people righteously. Thanks to them, we could live without fear of being conquered. In fact, our territory actually expanded as time went on, all thanks to their tireless efforts and unyielding bravery. The Kodokushi were truly our saviors, the most forthright and noble souls in the country, if not the world. Believing that from the bottom of my heart, I trained every day, single-mindedly working towards my goal of joining the Kodokushi. I grew up to be strong, fast, flexible, and beyond the reach of any of my peers. As a result, before I even reached adulthood, I was already a top contender to join the Kodokushi, and the day I hit 18, I was welcomed with open arms. It was the happiest moment of my life. A decade of training had paid off, and my dream had been realized. Or so I thought. The village standing before me now, burned to a crisp and devoid of human life, was the work of the Kodoshi. It was not an enemy village. There were no combatants to be found here, nor did its inhabitants pose any threat. It was just an ordinary, everyday village stuck between two opposing kingdoms. And for the Kodoshi, that was reason enough. After joining the Kodoshi, I quickly realized that our work was neither noble nor righteous. We were not saviors of the people. We were not almighty defenders protecting innocent civilians from harm. We were a death squad. A lot of people feel like they know what they want to be or what would make them happy, and then they find out quite quickly that what they thought was something isn't exactly how it was, and it's always kind of a crushing realization. Every day we would venture forth, treading just a little bit further away from home, searching for the enemy. An honorable task, to be sure. We would drive away any threats before they could further encroach upon our land, taking the fight away from innocent passerbys. But as soon as I learned the Kodoshi's definition of an enemy differed vastly from my own. Any village not under our kingdom's direct control or not paying us a protection fee would be decimated. Thousands of innocent people whose only crime was to not grow up under our jurisdiction were killed in cold blood, never even given the chance to surrender. We slaughtered men and women and children, even newborn babies, all in the name of our Lord, the Emperor. I should have known they would follow me here. Nobody leaves the Kodoshi alive, no matter how high their rank or how long they served. Now, because I chose to flee here, those people are all... Che, the bastard isn't here either. Are we even going the right way? This is Captain Nabatemi we're talking about. He knows how we operate. He's probably headed in the opposite direction. Damn, I hadn't thought about that. Let's keep moving. Wherever he's headed, Captain Nabatame isn't here. I watched in silence from a nearby forest as the last of the Kadoshi moved on. I had successfully invaded their surveillance and hidden myself by blending in with my surroundings, just as the Kadoshi themselves have taught me. So I waited, patiently biding my time until the last unit left my sight, at which point I could finally relax once more. Those bloodhounds don't give up. It's understandable that they would want to silence me, given what I know, but to chase me this far away from the kingdom, even I won't be able to evade them forever. Though still alight, I returned to the village the Kadoshi had just passed through. I had been running for weeks, and I desperately needed food and water, much more than I could find while fleeing through desolate wastelands and forests. If I hurry, maybe I can find some supplies before they all burn to ash. I don't care what it is. At this point, plain rice and water would be enough. With that simple goal in mind, I wandered around the village, quickly checking each village for scraps of food. I put out fires where I could, using sheets and other miscellaneous pieces of cloth to deny oxygen to the flames, but as far as food was concerned, I found nothing. Only bloody corpses and scorched rations remained, leaving me without a single morsel to eat. Come on, there has to be something edible around here that it hasn't been torched. How poor does a village have to be to not have As I frantically searched for food, I heard a faint whisper from within one of the houses. I immediately abandoned my search and headed to the next house over, quickly putting out the flames as I listened for the voice I heard moments ago. But even without another sound to go on, there was only one room in the house, and the moment I opened the door, I saw a girl. Mama, Papa. Within a burning village, one in which no survivors should have remained, was a young girl. A single girl crying alone in a house's storeroom, surrounded by rations I would have killed for mere minutes ago. As my gaze was stored on the girl, however, food was the last thing on my mind. All I could see was a young girl orphaned by an unprovoked attack for which I was responsible. Amazing, this little girl actually managed to hide herself from the Kadoshi. I'm the one they're after, of course, and they've been pursuing me for weeks now, so it's not unthinkable that a few innocents might escape their grasp. Even so. Sniff. Huh? I opened the storm's door wider, revealing my presence to the girl sobbing within. She gazed at me in shock, not expecting to be discovered, and no doubt wondering whether I was friend or foe. And once her eyes made her way to my katana at my hip, she had her answer. Mama, Papa, help me. Once again crying out for her parents, the young girl moved back, trying to put as much distance between us as she could. Have you noticed her hands chopped off? She pushed back with her legs, scrapping her tattered yukata on the floor while tightly holding something in her hand. Even as she almost tipped over, the girl didn't use her hands. Instead, she grasped tightly on her wrist, refusing to let go. That was when I realized the girl had lost more than just her family. This poor girl, she can't be older than 14-year-old, yet she's already lost not only her family, but also a limb. Even if she survives, life isn't going to be easy for her. Everyone she once knew is now dead, and her village will need repairs impossible for a girl with one hand. Would it be kinder for me to end her misery? I put my hand on the hip of my blade of my katana, which dangled wearily from my hip. As I did so, the girl before me let out an inaudible whimper and froze on the spot. Little girl, what's your name? The girl opened her mouth to speak, but hesitated to actually respond. Her vocal cords, like the rest of her body, froze in my presence, weary that the blade at my hip was not just for show. Chio Ase? Though barely audible, the girl before me answered. Her voice was wavering as she did. Tell me, Chio, do you want to live? Chio continued to stare at me with fear in her eyes, likely interpreting my question as a threat. I see. I drew my katana from its sheath and pointed its tip towards the girl's throat. I thought my days of killing defenseless children were over, but just this once. I slowly pulled my katana to the side, preparing to cut down the girl before me with a single strike. With a simple flick of my wrist, I would behead her, granting instant death to a girl who deserves no further pain. If this is your wish, Chio, then I don't want to die. A second before I could swing my blade, Chio shouted out, finally completing her answer. Immobilized by fear, her words reached my ears in fragments, giving the illusion that the girl wished for death. But with strong conviction and unmistakable will to live, Chio's true desire reached my ears at last, and the blade in my hand lost all of its power. Well, this seems quite interesting. I wonder if he'll run away with her and try to keep her alive and share the food and everything. I don't know what you'd do about someone's hand. Hopefully she doesn't bleed out. Very, very sad story. Graphics are done beautifully, though. Next. We're playing The Photographer. Photographer, open existing bookmark. I don't have one, so yeah, alright. And ATP Projects production. Alright. The Photographer. Ah, Venice. We got off the train at Stazione de Venezia Saint Luca, like all the other tourists. It's a sunny morning, but still quite chilly. Surprising if you've never been to Italy and only heard about the weather there. Alright. I wonder if these are pictures that the developer really took in Italy. Of course, we've both been to Italy before. Professionally, but neither of us have been to Vince so far. So it's a good opportunity to get to know the city from a different perspective. A non-professional perspective, a more private perspective. We're here just for our own amusement, and if we're making photos, these are strictly for our own amusement too. No worry about who's going to want to see our photos later on. Alright. We carelessly stroll over the closest bridge across Canal Grande, which brings us into San Polo. I suppose you could call it Vincent's Historical Center, but then again, everything about Vince is history. You can't walk 100 feet without tripping over some history, so to speak. I wonder what they take photos for. Alright. So where do you want to start? Pazza? San Marco sounds like a good idea. Right, where all the tourists gather? Well, we're here as tourists, aren't we? And right now, in the morning, maybe the crowds aren't that bad yet. Maybe. Yeah, that's one of our usual exchanges. That's the extent of how much we talk right now. Oh. Do I sound as though this bothers me? You're right, it does. I wonder who's talking, the girl or the boy. But why, you ask? There was nothing strange about our little conversation right now. Or was there? Nothing that sounded out of place for a couple? I leave you to watch us for a little longer and then draw your conclusion. They're very pretty pictures. They're not taking pictures of themselves, though. They're taking pictures of the environment, which I do quite a lot, especially when I'm out with Lewis. I like taking pictures of the environment, but I also take a couple pictures of ourselves. We continue our path through the streets of San Polo. Those streets would be a bit of an overstatement for any other city. If anything, they're alleyways. Wow. Alleyways lined left and right with some of the history's finest architecture. Neither of us can avoid taking in the view, occasionally stopping for a picture. Alright. Like this here, San Govina and Evangelista. Old, cracked, but still awe-inspiring. Yeah, it's very pretty. That it would still be standing after so many centuries. Some things are just built to last. Others, I sigh. Not that it matters. My sighs are rarely mattered recently. Someone could take notice of them. They're having relationship issues. I mean, it's not like we've been together since only recently, and it's not like we're not going to be together for quite a bit of time in the future. See, we're planning to marry later this year. That can put a lot of stress on you. This journey to Vince, it's the first longer vacation we're taking together. It's some time just for the two of us, away from work, away from our friends, away from everything that could distract us from being there for one another. And yet, we cross another beautiful backyard. I suppose it has to be Vince, even if the backyards look as though Da Vinci painted them. Vince. We're still going in the right direction? Yeah, we are. Oh, it lights up who's talking, so the guy's green. You're sure? I am sure. You don't want to take another look at the GPS? Sheesh, we're right in the middle of the most beautiful cities on Earth, and you want me to stare at my mobile. Sorry. There, now you must have heard it too. Is this how two people, about to spend the rest of their lives together, are supposed to talk to one another? And we aren't even married yet. We're supposed to be very much in love. All of our friends say we're perfect for one another. Well, it's easy to see how they get that idea. We're both photographers, both good at what we do, at least according to the people who get to see our work. And there was this time when I thought we were connected in quite a few other ways. The fact that I just said there was a time makes it sound as though it was ages ago, doesn't it? Well, we've known each other for 3 years. But maybe 3 years is a very long time if you're not really meant to be together. I mean, just look at us, hardly a friendly word between us. It sounds like you guys need to sit down and talk before your marriage. But I love the fact that they've used all these really cool pictures of Italy. It's a really cool way to get your story across. I feel bad for this couple, though. They're also very well drawn and they look really nice. Next. We're playing Palette Swamp. God damn it. My forehead stings where I've been slapped. I wince. Guess that didn't really help matters any. I'm an art student. I stayed late today to finish up my project. It's due in a couple of days. But I just can't think of anything. There's all these beautiful paintings around to inspire you, though. I'm not inspired at all. It's been a problem lately. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. I'm supposed to be home soon, but I thought I'd make one last stop. The student art gallery has lots of different paintings done by my peers. Maybe seeing some of them will inspire me. I carefully open the door. There are paintings lined up along the walls with all kinds of styles and subjects. I don't recognize any of them. I guess I haven't been in here in quite some time. Even in my turmoil, I can't help but smile a little. I feel very comfortable being here, surrounded by all this art. I look around at the different works for a bit, but it's not long before one painting in particular catches my eye. It's a dark forest, done mostly in shades of purple, with a yellow sunset poking through the trees. It's quite lovely. I wonder whose painting this is. I search for a signature, but there isn't one to be found. I do find the painting's title in tiny, hardly visible letters at the bottom corner. Elodia. That's an unusual name. I wonder what it means. Either way, it's quite something. It is. It's very beautiful. My thoughts are interrupted by what sounds like a faucet dripping. I look around in confusion. Suddenly, the door slams shut behind me, and the lights disappear in an instant. Startled, I let out a shriek, and I run to the door and grab the knob. The door's locked? How? I keep pulling on the doorknob, but it's pointless. The thing won't budge. What's going on? The dripping sound has gotten louder. I look back at the painting, or where I thought it was. It's too dark to see anything now. I take a couple of careful steps forward, but I'm hesitant to move too far without being able to see where I'm going. What is this? I don't expect the response that follows. Ah, you'll do nicely. Who's that? The voice is loud and menacing, like something out of a horror movie, but I can't see anyone. Who? I swallow. Is someone here? What? This girl can hear me? Huh? Of course I can hear you. No, you can't. You aren't supposed to hear me. You must be imagining things. What? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I look around the room frantically, trying to identify the other person in the room, but it's too dark. The only thing I can see is that painting. Am I really arguing with a disembodied voice? What in the world is going on here? This is an interesting development. I guess you could work. Interesting? What are you saying? What am I saying? What are you saying? What? Hey, would you like to help me out? Help you out. No, help me out. Yes, help me out. Go on, do it. How can I help you if I can't see you? Help me out. Help you out with what? Yes, help me out with what? I have to know what I'm helping you with. I can help you out if you help me out. What does that mean? You'll let me out if I help you? It is what it is. This is really confusing and frustrating. Whatever this voice is, it doesn't want to tell me what it needs my help for. But maybe it will let me out if I help it? What should I do? I don't even know how to help it. I don't know, let's help it. Well, alright. If you let me out, I'll help you. Good. That's good. The voice has suddenly grown distorted. The room starts to shake and the painting starts glowing with an unnatural light. What is this? My arms flail wildly at my sides as I try to maintain my balance, but it feels like the entire room is starting to fall. No! In a moment, I'm pitching forward towards this painting. I expect to crash into it, but instead I hear something that sounds like a splash, and I just keep falling. The world around me blurs and shifts into a million different colors, so many that I can't pick a single one out of the bunch. I look back, reaching desperately, trying to find something to grab onto, but I freeze at what I see. Even though I just fell into the painting, even though I'm still falling, I didn't. I was still there, standing in front of the painting, looking at myself. It was there, smirking, but I was also right here, inside the painting. What is happening? Everything is dark. Am I still falling? I can't feel anything. It takes a long time for me to push my eyes open. I'm definitely not in the school anymore. Where am I? Some kind of dark forest? But there's something strange about this place. Something about, well, about the color palette. It all looks shiny in a weird way. Kind of like, it all looks like paint. Like paint, and more specifically, that painting from the school. How can that be? I was at school, and then the way that I kind of fell into the painting, did I really fall into the painting? How is that possible? And wait, just before I saw that girl was me, or someone who looked like me? Who was it? And where are they now? Where am I now? What's going on? Suddenly there's an explosion of sound behind me. There's a group of strange creatures. They look a lot like birds, but at the same time I can somehow tell they aren't. Their colors are strange, and they're as shiny as the environment. They seem to be quite cheery at any rate. One of them is somehow holding a piece of cake. There's another hint that these guys are not actually birds, since birds cannot hold cake. I guess these guys have thumbs somewhere under those feathers, or whatever they are. But are these strange creatures the ones who brought me here? Maybe they can tell me something. What is this place? Where are we? The creatures don't seem to be listening. They're still singing and chatting and whistling cheerfully. Hey, where are we? Are you guys the ones that brought me here? A couple of creatures look at me but don't respond to my questions. Hey, seriously, I want to know what's going on. Who is that voice? What was that painting? Who was that girl that looked like me? Where are we? Why won't anyone answer me? Nothing at all. Tears pricked the corner of my eyes and I sighed in frustration. Can you guys even understand me? The lack of answers would seem to be an answer in and of itself. Great, the only living thing in sight, and they can't help me. So I guess what happened was we swapped with the person in the painting, and the person in the painting became us, so now we're in this weird, trippy painting world that looks beautiful. It seems like a really interesting, trippy game. Next. We're playing Prince Caterpillar. Get it away from me. No. Make it stop moving. Don't you dare bring it any closer. But it's so cute. Look at the poor thing. It just wants to be friends with you, Ivan. Stop it! It's disgusting. It's ugly. Get it away. In case you're confused, that's me. No, not the girl. The guy. Hey, stop pointing the camera at her. I'm over here. What's that? No, I'm not kidding. It is really that unusual to see a guy screaming. You'd be freaking out too if you had a creepy, ugly, disgusting bug in the same room as you. I swear I'm a pretty chill dude most of the time. You don't believe me? Fine, let's rewind a bit. Go back to how this all happened. 10 minutes ago. Ivan, move your legs. Why are you so slow? Kiko, I swear, this box got 10 times heavier than before. Nah, you're just weak. You need to work out more. Ugh, so heavy. I have no energy to keep moving. I'm Ivan, and that's Kyoku, my childhood friend. We're both your average college students going to the University of Stormhill. I'm majoring in computer science, and she's in biology. Today's just another normal Sunday. Kyoku and I came back from the science fair, and we were planning to drop off the supplies in one of the study rooms around here. The room itself is protected by a passcode, and we occasionally come here to study. It's quiet and peaceful if you ignore the occasional dancing hippos coming from upstairs. I mean dancers. There's a dance group that tends to practice on the second floor right above us every now and then, but they're not that bad. Kyoku threatened to report them once to the school, but she hasn't carried out that threat yet. Ivan, look. What now? Stop wasting time. The room's right over there. Aw, don't be scared, little guy. I won't hurt you. Now, come on. Crawl up my hand, okay? Kyoku, what is that? Here, now crawl on my arm. It's a caterpillar. Isn't it so cute? Ah, get it away from me. Ivan, wait, where are you going? He's afraid of bugs. And that's how I got here in this weird situation. Well, my precious friend Kyoku has abandoned me in favor of that ugly thing. This chair is my sole ally against the enemy known as Boss Caterpillar. I clutch the chair tightly, hoping it will shield me from being killed by the big bad bug. Let's see, you can't just crawl around my hand forever, Mr. Caterpillar. Ivan, what are you doing? Don't come closer, Kyoku. I will throw this chair if you do. It will be very impressed. I will be very impressed if you can even lift that chair. Now stop fooling around and help me watch this little guy while I go get something to put him in. Just kill him. I can't stand that thing. It's not a thing, it's an insect, and lucky for you, he's a male caterpillar. I don't care. Kyoku drops the freaking thing on a piece of paper lying around on the table. Then she turns to the set of lockers, opening them one by one, trying to find a container for the damn evil-looking bug. Why can't you just throw him outside? He can't stay in here. I can't do that. It's below freezing outside. He'll die. Good. I'm not gonna kill him, Ivan. That's wrong. You can throw him out if you want. I won't stop you. You want me to touch that thing? No, never. Then it's here to stay. No! I'm kidding. Let me just find a container and we can help the little guy find a new home. New home? It doesn't need a new home. It needs to go to hell. It should go and burn in hell. That's a warm place. Is that good enough? Can we send it to hell? How dare you be so mean to the poor helpless creature? If anyone should be going to hell, it's you, Ivan. Why me? I'm the victim here. Here we go. Is this jar a good size? I don't know and I don't care. Just get it away from here. Alright, Mr. Caterpillar. Now crawl into this jar. No, that's the wrong way. Jeez, come over here. Yeah, I dropped off the freaking table. Quick, stop it, Ivan. No. Gotcha. See, he's harmless. This bug will be the death of me. Yeah, whatever you say. Kyoku starts to dial someone's number on her phone while holding the bug's jar in the other hand. Don't you dare drop that. If you drop that and it comes out again, I will make sure to stomp on it. You can't even go near it. Hey, Alan, are you on campus? I found this caterpillar here and... Yeah, I thought of that too. Oh, alright. I was going to ask if you can take him, but if you're not back yet, then that's fine. That's a good idea. Okay, I'll see you at the lab Monday. Who is that? Alan? He's someone I work with at my research lab. I wanted to see if he could take the caterpillar, but he said he went home for the weekend. We can still throw it outdoors and forget about its existence forever. Alan suggested we try searching for a potted plant that could be used as Mr. Caterpillar's new home. Alright, you go do that while I... Hold it, Ivan. Who said you could leave? Well, you don't need two people to carry a bug around, and you know I hate bugs, so... No, there is one thing you must do in this situation that hasn't been done yet. Huh? Kiss the caterpillar. Kiss? No. Yes. You like guys, Ivan. The caterpillar could turn into your dream guy. There's just one thing that I don't really like about my close friend here. It's not her love for Yoi, or that she's addicted to visual novels with boy-on-boy action. Ever since she found out that I'm interested in guys, she's been making up these weird fantasies of me with other guys in our class. It's tolerable in most cases, but this is going too far. She can't ship me with a caterpillar. I hate bugs. They're the worst. Their existence negatively impacts mine. That's impossible. You don't know that. This could be the beginning of your romantic life, Ivan. All you have to do is kiss the caterpillar. Never. Alright, I understand that romance doesn't blossom instantly. How about you come with me while we search for Mr. Caterpillar's new home and you can develop your romantic feelings for him in the meantime. Kyoku, it doesn't work that way. Bugs are gross. I can't bear to even look at that thing. Sure it does. And that's fine. Attraction isn't solely based on appearance. Now come on, let's search the building for a potted plant. Oh, this is adorable. I hope he falls in love with the caterpillar. I like the drawings as well, but I hope he falls in love with the caterpillar. I really does. I really do. I hope it turns out to be a prince and he falls in love. Next. We're playing Just Another Day in Paradise. As another day breaks, you hear voices. We need to get to work. Charlotte, come on. Just a few more minutes. Fine, but the longer we wait, the more dangerous this gets. How did you start your day? Struggle further. How about get dressed? What do you put on? The girl's leggings under a ripped sweater dress, the guy's jeans and a dirty sweatshirt, overalls with stained jump underneath. I guess we'll be a girl. Okay. You get dressed from inside the sleeping bag, then pull back the bag's cover. Whoa, my name's sewn into the lining. What's on the name tag? Awesome. You're up. Sorry if we woke you. How do you respond? What's going on? Why are we outside? You don't remember? Maybe it's the shock. Last night there was a mistake. It must be tough for you right now, but I need your head in the game. Take a few minutes to process everything, then let it go. What did happen last night? It's getting colder. I wanted something warm to sleep in. I suggest raiding my old place. I'd left some camping gear there, and I thought the house would be empty. I was wrong. Mom was there, and she was... You're getting too in your head. Shake it off. Take it one step at a time. Start by getting through the day. Just one more day. That's easy, right? One more day, Ethan? That's a laugh. Get through today, then the day after that, and then the one after that too. Hey, go easy on her. Hey, you shut the hell up. You think you're helping, but you're just making her soft. Nothing in this world will go easy on anybody. Not anymore. I hope that cozy nap in your old sleeping bag was worth it, Jupiter. But at least you're still alive. If you want to stay that way, we should get to work. God, she's such a... Sometimes I regret letting her join the group. But she's right. We need to pitch in if we want to survive. If you don't have any chores planned yet, either of us could use help. I was getting ready to go. Let us know. Let's talk to Ethan. He seems nicer. Hey, Jupiter, you okay? No, stop asking. Don't worry about me. How are you? Yeah, you really helped. Let's tell me you helped. Good, I'm glad. What do you have planned for today? I was going on a supply run. We're out of a lot of stuff. Medicine, bullets, canned food. Winter's on its way. We should stock up what we can. Supply run. After yesterday, really. Okay, do you need any help? Just what I was hoping you'd ask. I can carry a lot more with a second set of hands. So what do you say? Maybe can I decide later? Yeah, I have to go get my backpack anyway. I'll wait a little before I head out. If you have time to come with me, meet me on the edge of camp. Alright, let's talk to Charlotte. Oh, it's you. Look, I'm sorry for the way I acted. It's okay, don't worry about it. Thanks for understanding. The thing that went down with your mom, it hit a little too close to home. Both my parents got infected on the first day. In some ways, it's good, you know? Look, I know I was supposed to get firewood today, but I just found out my nephew survived. That's incredible. I know, but I can't do anything for him alone. I need your help. I'll help. What can I do? Meet me in the woods and I'll show you. Let's meet Charlotte. She needs me more than him. Mid-morning. You came. Really want to help? It's tough. I told you I would. Alright, I told you I would. Yeah, I'm not used to people actually following through. You've been hanging around the wrong people. Ethan and I aren't like that. One of you, anyway. My nephew's a ways ahead. We'll have to hike it. Okay, lead on. Yep, off we go. Is there anything you want to know? So what happened to your family? What's with the third degree? You've been with us almost a month and I still barely know you. Like I said, my parents were infected. It happened pretty fast. We were in the city at the market. One minute they were babbling on with my sister about which flowers to buy. The next they were trying to kill us both. I didn't know you had a sister. I don't like to talk about them, my family. Sorry, just making conversation. Well, yeah, idle conversations turn south quick these days. I've got a question for you, actually, in the interest of conversation. I guess it's my turn. What's the question? Okay, what's the deal with you and Ethan? We're friends. We grew up together. We went to preschool together, had snacks at each other's houses after school. You know this already. It's not a secret. Yeah, I know the official line. And the real story is? I said we're friends. We've always wondered. I'm more into my own kind. I'm more into my own kind. I see. Why are you so interested? Shh, no time to talk more. We're here. Oh, I forgot that I was a girl. So I just said I was a lesbian. Okay. What's the weird sound? That's Grace. Your nephew's name is Grace. Grace is my sister. Oh, wow. She's pregnant with my nephew. She's infected. That's why I need your help, Jupiter. I need you to kill her. How is that helping with your nephew? I know this looks bad. Let me explain. I joined up with you and Ethan because of Grace. We were doing fine on our own until she got infected. I couldn't keep us both alive by myself. You, me, and Ethan splitting up the chores, keeping things manageable, so I have free time to look after Grace. You've kept Grace hidden from us for a month. Why keep her alive this whole time? She was pregnant before the swarm with a boy. I just wanted to see if he'd make it. But it's been 10 months. It's over. Time to let them both go. It's crazy. I'm telling Ethan, you can't. Jesus, you're such a goody-goody. He won't understand. He'll banish me or worse. I'll stay with her. Please, I know Ethan's got a gun back at camp. If you bring it here, we can do what needs to be done. It'll be the most painless way. Why don't you go? She's your sister. Ethan already has it in for me. If he catches me rooting around his stuff, he'll kick me out of the group. With you, he'll be more forgiving. So you want me to do your dirty work? That, and I'm not sure if Grace's ropes will hold. I made them out of ripped-up, moldy blanket. Better I get horribly mauled to shreds than you. Tell her off. I don't want to help her. These are hard decisions. So basically, it's not paradise. It's like an apocalyptic environment, and you have to make decisions to survive and thrive. Wow, this is messed up. Next. We're playing Night in the Cottage. The weather in this mountain is treacherous. Sudden storms often hit, resulting in flash floods or avalanches. Due to this, the government issued a decree for all the residents of this mountain range to install a working radio inside their properties, even if they are currently uninhabited, to ensure that an emergency line would be available at all times. While I was searching for the rare herbs for my research project, which is only found in this mountain region, I left the trail and got horribly lost. I thought I was doomed for sure, but I remembered the government protocol about the radios. I searched for a cottage or a sign of some kind of shack. Surely it would have a radio I could use. I found a cottage, but where's the radio? There must be one on here somewhere. I just have to find it. Alright. There's a memo pad on the table. I'll take one piece of paper. Alright, so this is a point and click. There's a switch on the wall. I'll wipe the dust off the glass of this piece of paper. Right? There's nothing in here. What is this? A trunk with a combination lock. There's something written on the side. Emergency use. Handheld radio. Radio? Wait, the radio must be inside the trunk. But why is the radio locked up? Isn't that against the protocol for case of access? Very clean stove. There isn't even a speck of dust or ash on it. Was it this recently cleaned? A new whiteboard with strange scratches on it. Oh, this seems scary. Switch on a wall. Are you going to use the switch? There's me. Alright, I have no idea. Yeah, no shit. I don't know the answer. What are the scratches? Scratches might help me. I need to know what the scratches are. Or why I cleaned a table. Oh, I have no idea what to do. Alright. Oh wait, what? There's an old mark on the floorboards as if something has been removed. I don't know what's been removed. It's like a box, table. I'm just kind of clicking on everything. It's like a sparkle up in the corner. One. What? 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. I don't remember the code. I think that lights the code though. 1, 4. And the last one's like 8. Yeah, I know. 1. Why is it counting 1, 2? Let's wait until it restarts. 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4. What if it's 2, 1, 4, 8? Did it work? What's happening? What's this smoke? I feel dizzy. Ugh. Well, damn. Didn't look like a radio. Caught in the trap. Game over. Oh, that's interesting. Guess there's more than one ending. Next. We're playing Stargaze Princess. Morning, Princess. I want to sleep more. What about the meeting? Ah, you're right. Oh, she's adorable. Quick, help me pick the nicest dress and everything, and I'll get more help. Right. You made it. How do you like my dress? Absolutely wonderful. Thanks. He's so embellished today. Any plans for marriage? Why, no, I'm only 10. But if I had to pick, it would be you. So close. Oh well, time to get the day started. You got everything? Books, homework, projects? Yes, just like every day you told me to do my homework, read my books, and finish my projects. Education is key in the world. You can't slack off. So I guess I'm dreaming about being a princess? Yes, I know. Yes, Dad, I know. Can I go now? Yes. Sabrina, hi, about book club. We just finished it yesterday. Any ideas for the next book? Yes, Prince Caspian, The Return to Narnia. I knew I shouldn't ask. Hey, it's a great book. Everyone always thinks about the first movie when they hear Narnia. Now it is the time they know about the second story. We'll put it up to vote. Everyone is leading to The Little Prince. That only has 30 pages. I can do my housework and homework with seconds to spare for that book. Maybe we should pick a longer book. We haven't done one in over 2 weeks. The Bell, we'll talk about getting Black Beauty book later on. Bye. Only you like that book. As you are well aware, your teacher's not here. There's nothing planned today, so I ask you to finish any projects or homework for other classes. If you finish, you may listen to music, but not go on the internet or text someone. Student number 1. But you can't stop us from texting and going on the internet. No, but I can take your phone away until class is over. This is my classmates, everyone. I blame myself for not reaching honors, but that's too late. In high school, it's be in honors or stay with the fools. That's very true. And there goes someone's phone. Why is he even trying to text is anyone's guess. Oh, good thing I can say, one good thing I can say about my classmates. They are creative at doing stuff. Lunchtime. Lucy, I found the answer to our problems. No, we're not going to the library and have people pick their books. No, better. In Japan, there's these things called visual novels where you read them as books. Certain visual novels are games, but most of the time they're like books. Any recommendations? Narkutsu first and second novel. We can finish it within a month. Alright, we'll see if your idea turns the tie around. Evening book club. Everyone's here? Good, we can start with voting. First up, student number 2. Little Prince, because why not? It's a classic and everyone can read it fast. Anything else like story summary or characters? Student 2. No, it's fine. Alright then, next up, student 3. I got nothing. Why did you even ask to talk? I felt like talking. Just sit down, we're not writing a story. That sounds like a great idea. Book club is about reading and understanding what goes into a story, not making one from scratch. Student 5, you're next. A rock group who lives in a life of danger while chased down by the cops. That book is called No Live, No Rock. That's not a real book. Music can't be considered a book. I'm leaving. Maybe the music club will find me more useful. Good riddance. Last up, my friend Sabrina. Okay, before we begin, how many of you have computers? All good. I found a program called Visual Novels where a story is like a book but similar to a game. I'll send you the website link to your emails and you can download it. The book is called Narkutsuyu. It has 2 parts and unlike the books, you don't need to carry it. You'll be part of the story. The experience is new for book readers. The visual novel is not a game but a story. So please consider it. Thank you. And a vote for Narkutsu is a vote for fun. Only 2 books have been submitted. Raise your hands if you want The Little Prince. 2 students raised their hand. Narkitsu, 3 students raised their hands. Why hasn't everyone voted? Student 7. We have exams next week, then the holidays we spend time with our family. That's why we are voting. We have time to read a book when exams are over, and when the holidays arrive, you will not die of boredom. Why did any of you join this club if you're not here to read? None of the students answer. Again, vote for the book or digital book that you want to read. Student 5 students raise their hand for Little Prince. 7 students raise their hand for Narkitsu. Visual novel, Narkitsu wins. Report to Sabrina to get the email link. That's the story on why I needed to use the internet. Only for 30 minutes and it's gone. Thanks, Dad. Here's dinner. Anything else? No. Done. Disconnects internet. The reviews are positive even if the story is about 2 characters. It reminds me of my own dream where only we exist. Oh, I can't wait. My prince is waiting, but it's only 8 p.m. I guess I'll read my book. How do you like the vessel? So now this is on her princess dream. It's huge. The ship's name is called Legendary Princess. You don't have to name it after me. I insisted, for there can only be one who I'd rather be saved. I'll do my best. Come here. Come, there is a new world waiting for us. Huh? Together we will travel to the high seas, discover new lands, and find hidden treasure. Let's do it. It's a bit weird. It kind of jumps quite a bit, but I understand what it's going for, and I kind of like the fact that it talks about a visual novel in the visual novel. It's interesting. Next. We're playing Alexandra of Ciel. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say the last word. Ciel. You are Princess Alexandria. I sigh as I attempt to comprehend what Father has just told me. Indeed, they wish to explore the kingdom and understand the terrain as ours is far different than theirs. In order to give the prince and yourself some time to get to know one another.
We have spent the last 2 days getting to know each other. Why must they stay longer?
I like the fact that it's voiced. Darling, it is of the utmost importance that you and the prince get along, for the prosperity of the kingdom. I understand.
Well, Father, I trust your judgment. I will attempt to make an effort to become better acquainted with Prince Damien.
Are you certain? I think it's a wonderful idea that the 2 of you are going to be getting along.
It will be quite prosperous for both of our kingdoms for us to wed.
It is splendid that you are pondering accepting his offer. He is out in the meadow right now. I'm going to converse with his father over wedding plans. Why not go and have a chat with the prince?
Yes, father.
I stride out to the meadow to find the prince staring out over the small hill, looking at the clear sky. This is pretty. I walk forward and stand behind him a moment, watching him speculatively.
Hello, young highness.
Good morning, princess. I trust you are well.
Replied truthfully. Nudged up the sound a bit. Replied truthfully.
As well as one can be, considering the circumstances.
What do you mean by that?
Forgive me, it was a slip of the tongue.
Quite a large slip. You may want to tame your tongue before our marriage, lest I tame it for you.
Oh, I don't know if I like this guy. I suppress a sigh and the urge to roll my
Tell me
eyes.
about your kingdom, your highness. I wish to know more about the place I'm going to be staying once we marry.
Oh, well, it's a wonderful place, really. Land as far as the eye can see, with villages dotting the many hillsides.
I perk up a bit at this.
Villagers?
Indeed. The peasantry is quite fond of the terrain, I must say. Of course, as I am always up in the castle helping father attend to one detail or another, I cannot be bothered to socialize with them.
Sympathy for him. Let's try to get on his good side.
A prince has many duties.
Ah, how wonderful that you understand. You and I may get along better than I thought.
You think so?
Naturally, if you can understand how much responsibility is set on the shoulders of a ruler, then you are far more intelligent than I initially thought.
There's no need to an insult. I understand that when you rule things, you have a lot of power and a lot of weight on your shoulders, men. I resist the urge to sigh in
Would
irritation.
you tell me more about your home?
What more is there to tell?
He seemed to be becoming slightly distressed. His eyes begin shifting and he fidgets nervously.
You will not be spending the majority of your time in the castle anyway.
Pardon?
In the castle, with such pale skin, I would assume you spent a large part of your time inside. Why would you need to know about the kingdom?
Skin condition, agree. Skin condition. That might make me less wettable.
For your information, I love going outside.
Ooh. He starts in surprise, his jaw slack.
I am simply unable to in most conditions due to my skin being very fragile.
It's because you're a lady.
Actually, father calls it a...
The guard hurries up to us at that moment, preventing any further private
Your
conversation.
Majesties, both of His Highnesses request your presence in the dining hall.
I love the fact that these are all voiced. It's really nice. The prince glances to me in exasperation, and I simply blink at him. It is no fault of mine that our father wants us, that our fathers want us. He sighs in aggravation and nods to the guard.
Well, lead the way.
But Her Majesty knows the direction.
I do not follow women, guard. Lead the way.
I resist the urge to stomp on his foot. The guard looks to me and I nod subtly. No need to further anger the bore of a man beside me. You are unknown. I can barely hear this voice. It's almost time. I suppose I should prepare. A bat screeches nearby and I grin. Let's grab a cloak. I grab my cloak and clip it around my neck, securing it along my shoulders. It would be of no use to pull up the hood just yet. I stride from my home and head out into the woods surrounding it. I'm going to have some fun. So I think we switched characters. You are Princess Alexandra. Prince Damien and I stride into the dining hall to see our fathers conversating near one of the smaller tables. Mother stands nearby as well, watching the pair of them calmly. The prince moves to stand beside his father immediately. Speak to mother. I walk over to stand by my mother. She smiles at me in welcome and we curtsy at each other in greeting. Hello, darling. I trust you are having a good day? The truth. I sigh unhappily and glance to where the men are standing.
Mother, my day has not been going very well at all.
She gives me a small, sad smile. I'm terribly sorry that you have to spend time with him, dear, but if you were interested in anyone else...
Would father really agree to me marrying anyone else, mother?
If I spoke to him, he would. I am entirely certain I could convince him to let you marry a female, if you so choose. I laugh quietly, feeling her human light in my heart.
It would simply be wishful thinking to assume your powers are that great, mother.
This is quite an interesting game. I wonder who the person in the cloak is, because we just saw her super briefly. I do love how they're all sound, like all of the voices have their own characters. And they're just done that way. I don't mind the few voices that I get to be. That's quite fun. Next. We're playing connection pools. It asked me at random to extract a zip file. I accidentally clicked. Now it's doing this. It's a Friday between 8 and 9 p.m. The internet is being a touch unstable, ruling out the vast majority of possible evening pursuits. You've decided to check out some obscure indie games. You know you've downloaded enough of them recently. The name of this game doesn't seem at all familiar, which isn't unusual. Sometimes files are just named with working titles or purposely obscure names, and sometimes you just can't even remember downloading them. That's true. Handshake initiated, handshake complete, waiting for connection. So it's like counting down from 300. Unscientifically, you give the screen a nudge. Connection successful. A voice read that to me, actually, but I said it anyway. Alright, start game, start light. Let's just start game. Spacebar does nothing. Neither does left click. You inspect the image. It's like a blinking eye. Spacebar does nothing. Unknown. Yawn. Thanks for running pools.exe. I presume that you did, otherwise I would be talking to you right now. I've been waiting like 3 days for somebody to open it. Why? Oh, you can see me. Good. I was a bit worried that the connection wasn't working. Well, actually, it's kind of embarrassing. I need your help. I've already tried on my own a few times, and it hasn't gone so well. That's why I set up this connection pool, puddle, and I've been waiting just over here for you to connect, so that I could ask you to help me rescue my friend. Why me? Oh, well, not you specifically. Anybody, anyone human who'd have opened the file would have been fine. I do apologize for my poor manners. I would introduce myself properly, but, well, it's probably better if you don't know too much about me for what I have in mind. My friend is in a sort of prison, a really rough place, you know. They should never have been incarcerated. It was completely political. They're a good, honest person, my mentor during my formative years, in fact. They spoke about abuse of powers and corruption and stuff, and instead of being allowed to gather support, as is the proper way, they were silenced, thrown in that place, and left to rot for years. The anonymous individual picked the eye fruit and took a bite. It started to blink furiously. We're going to break them out. Well, I am, but you'll be the one controlling my body to break me in first. They paused to wipe some juice from their chin. So I guess as you're sticking around, you're going to help me. Here's the plan. You take control of my body, walk down to the prison. It's over there, not far at all. You can't miss it. Big, scary, castle-looking thing sat in a swamp. Get my body inside and just don't let the guards do anything drastic like behead me. Meanwhile, I'm going to implant on a bird, probably that casserole over there. This is the cool bit. I'll pick up integrine. It's a citrus tangerine. It's a citrus fruit that for a while after it's first picked gives intangibility to whoever eats it. I'll fly with that as fast as possible to the prison. It's like 10 miles away, so it'll take 20 minutes or thereabouts. Once I'm in, I'll release the castrol and take my body back. If you can cause a diversion, that would be really handy. I'll use the integrine to break both myself and my former mentor out. I say break, but it'll actually involve just sort of walking through the wall. Wait a second. How am I supposed to control your body? Why would the guards want to behead you? And why on earth should I trust anything you say? All good questions. Yeah. The body controlling is a brain-to software interface, using binary data to control biological brain, ones and zeros, that kind of thing. It's kind of technical, and I didn't write the thing. That's the software you are running right now. It's pretty unique. The guards don't really like me at all much. I tried to break a friend out a couple of times over the last few weeks, once with an explosive concoction that made a bit of a mess. Apparently I'm considered dangerous, and there are some completely fabricated charges against me. Nobody got hurt, and I should believe you why. And, well, you shouldn't trust me, I wouldn't, but at the same time, you don't need to. I mean, you're perfectly safe sat there behind your computer screen. I'm the only one putting anything online. You could even just close the program and partway through if you wanted. It's the little icon top corner close to the connection, I think. But if you're going to do that, I'd rather you did it now and not partway through. You sort of hold all the cards. I'm kind of at your mercy here. Then you can tell me your name. I'll keep it to myself. Though I think it's better if you know as little as possible. You're right. I'll tell you my name is Cass. Remember that just before I get back, it would be really good to have some kind of cover. I don't really see anything going wrong. I really thought through the plan and all. But the few sounds when I come in with a screaming tangerine, and need to find you or me will be crucial. There's a glowing stick in my pocket. Just crack it and throw it towards the guards if you're still with them. They'll probably think it's a spell or a bomb or something, which should be enough of a distraction. How will I know when you're coming? Well, I'll get to the prison about 30 minutes after you. Around that time, listen out for screeching, but don't wait too long. Can't you just walk in and out of there with the intangibility anyway? Well, yes, if I were close to the tree. The things don't last long once picked, and getting to the swamp unspotted is a bit of a pain. If it were easy, I would have done it already. Oh, and this mentor, this friend of yours that you want to break out? Yeah? You say they're completely innocent, no threat to society? That's true. I'll tell you anyway, though you can't really verify it. The place is a flux between worlds. It's a different place to where you or I come from. I fear this will be my last opportunity to speak to them, which is why I am as desperate as I am. So are you going to help me? Sure. Thanks. Thank you so much, really. Do you want me to go through the plan again? I think I've got it. I'm pretty sure I can remember it. Okay, here it goes. Alright, it's a creepy voice. Alright. The sensation is like a full body ear pop. Everything seems much clearer now. You try out the arms and legs. They seem like a good fit enough. They certainly respond quickly. A couple of steps in the direction indicate it's all it takes to become fully accustomed to controlling another's body. A bird flies off from a small patch nearby. It's not long before you catch sight of the prison to which you've been instructed to infiltrate. The swamp appears to be swelling in the heat. Perhaps it's just an optical illusion. Oh. Walk towards the prison. The path to the prison becomes increasingly dotted with fungi. Some are particularly dusty specimen, brightly colored with smells between field mushrooms and rotting fruit. You pause for a moment and check that you still close the software if you want to. It appears you can. Feeling secure in the knowledge, you keep walking. A log-wood bridge seems the only way to get to the prison, surrounded by swampland. As you approach, it becomes apparent that you've been spotted. 3 guards approach your position on the bridge. Instead of questioning, you've greeted with spear tips inches from your face. No word is spoken as you are ushered into the prison. Once inside a small chamber, 2 guards leave. The third checks your waist and ankles for concealed weaponry, of which you have none. Silently, you are instructed to take a seat. You comply. Name? I am Jupiter. Guard. You insist that your name is Jupiter. You nod. Very well. The guard writes something down on a sheet of paper. Age? I'm 20. If you lie, things will not go pleasantly. Is that a fact? Indeed it is. Something is noted down on the sheet. Through the guard's helmet, it's possible to make out a raised eyebrow. Occupation. Unemployed. And probably spelled unemployed correctly. I was unemployed for 7 years before getting this job, too. The guard sighs and readjusts their helmet before writing down what you presume to be your answer. This time, however, they don't take the pen from the sheet. Its nub lingers on the sheet and starts to draw a little shape over and over underneath its heavy pressure. The guard scribbles the shape out with a now bent pen. Right. You expect another demographic question, but the guard is staring at the pen, a look in their eyes of distant pain. Probe the guard. Hey, is everything okay? Or not really? What's up? The pen I had yesterday. The guard speaks protracted and low now, pausing for seconds at a time. It looked a lot like this one. It was essentially the same pen, but the ink in this pen, it's not the same. Oh? Yesterday I had a pen that would write in gold. I knew it was something magical, but this is no gimmick magic. Have you ever held your own destiny in your very hand, Jupiter? I can't say that I have. The gold ink, it glowed, and I knew it was truth. Whatever I wrote would manifest true. I wrote that I had a bag of gems. Inside my jacket was the bag I had in my mind, full of beautiful stones of every color. I wrote that my house was 3 stories tall and had a bar and a bartender on the ground floor, and it was so. Inside a piano, playing a piece I do not know the name of, but somehow the ink knew the song from my memory. It was beautiful. I wrote that the sun shone and that my superiors did not mind at all that I wasn't at my post. It was all true, Jupiter. It was all real, my reality as I'd written it. That is something. I can't explain how important it was to me, that pen, that ink, that golden glow from the page, shimmering with realities of pure joy. My power was to shape whatever I wished around me. I can only compare it to the children's games we used to play. The make-believe words my siblings and friends and I would conjure playing among the reeds decades ago. Only these words were tangible. These words were real. The guard begins to tear up. I wrote away my chest pains. I wrote away my loneliness. I wrote a 4-posted bed and sweet-scented companions for pillows, and I slept in glee I've not felt before. I can't explain it. It was no vision or dream. This actually happened yesterday and today. It is gone. I have no pen with golden ink which I clutched as I slept last night. Stolen or missing or whatever, it's gone. And now I can't describe the loss of such a thing. I had power. I had the purest power. I could control my own destiny. It was such a beautiful thing. And it has gone. Utterly gone. Oh, I'd give half of my life to have it back. what I would give to have it for just one more day. So much. Be happy in what you have, man. This is weird. Strangers wanting me to hear about their stories. This guard seems a bit weird. At first he didn't seem to like me, but now he does because I said I was unemployed. I like the idea of this, though, trying to help out a person because I opened up a game. It's quite interesting. It's a unique concept. Next.